Hi, my name's Sam and this is my channel, Frugalissima, where I talk about all things sewing, particularly dressmaking. And today I'm just going to give you a rundown of the things that I made in August. But first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far. I really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, if you want to subscribe, hit the subscription bell. That will notify you of any new videos. I'm recording videos on 100 days of sewing during the week, and on a Sunday I'm putting up plans, reviews and things like this where it's an overview of what I've been sewing. So on to today's video. So August was a bit of a slower month for me than July. July I made 3 tops, 3 dresses, some Law's bags, an apron and lots of face masks, probably like everybody. But August was a slower month, and it was mostly because I was making quite a lot of shirts. I actually made 4 shirts in August. I don't know what happened there, and just a top. So all tops in August. So I'll start off with what you can see here, and this is the Melody blouse by Love Notions. This was in my summer sewing plans, and it was made with a remnant of fabric that I picked up from Lucky Fashion. So it cost me, I don't know, about £2 or something like that. So I wanted to make it as a bit of a wearable toile, if you like. Brought Mandy the mannequin, my lovely assistant, to show you. It's a bit crumpled because I've worn it a few times. So that's the front. You've got Doman sleeves with a little cuff on, and like a flat collar, so an easy to install collar. I think they call it a camp collar, and it's just, there's no yoke on it. It's just a plain black back, and no pattern matching on the side because I had a very limited amount. Of fabric, so we're a bit wayward here. I think I only had about, I don't know, maybe a metre and a bit. So it's quite long, and I think that's designed. They've made the design so that you can actually tie it in a knot at the waist, like that. And it's, probably can't, can you see that? You've got your dip 10, and it's the same length at the front and the back. I don't think it's longer at the back. Like I say, it's quite creased, I've worn it a few times. But I really do like this pattern. It's really comfortable. The fabric that I've used is just a very lightweight viscose. But because it's a darker colour, I think it'll take me nicely into autumn and winter. I've made it mostly to wear to work, really. It's a really comfortable thing to wear. It's just really nice and light and breezy to wear. And I think the collar detail makes it a little bit smarter. So nothing much else to say about that, really. If you've not made any Love Notions patterns before, the instructions are really good, and they do come with, if you need a full bust adjustment, they already come with that pattern piece as part of the patterns. You don't actually have to faff about doing a full bust adjustment. It's not something that I've ever had to do. But there's no darts in this, so you must and the collar construction's quite easy. So unless you've never done buttons and buttonholes before, it's a good starter shirt in my opinion, in that the instructions are really clear. So you've not got a collar stand or anything like that to grapple with. So yes, I think it's a really good starter shirt if you've never made a shirt before. And I would highly recommend the pattern actually. It can be a bit long. I'm quite a long torso. I'm quite tall anyway. I'm 5'8". I've got quite a long torso, but you could. That's a really easy adjustment to do. Just you could either even it off, make it. You could either um, eliminate the curve completely and make it the same length all the way around, or you could just shorten it a little bit. Sorry about the squeaky chair. I need some WD-40, I think. So that's the melody, and yeah, really pleased with that one. It'll get a lot of wear, and I will definitely make another one. The other shirt I made is the one that I'm wearing now, and this is the Melly Low by Deer and Doe. So we've got a little collar on there. I don't actually wear it buttoned up, and I'm not too keen on having it too tight. It's not tight around the neck, but I don't like that look on me. I prefer an open neck on me, but you've got the option to do that. So again, this is a viscose. It was a piece that I picked up at a fabric swap. I think it was my first Sew Up North meetup. It's a really pretty colour. I'll just stand up so you can see it. Again, crumpled, been wearing it. A huge curve at the side here. And you do have a slightly longer back than front on this one. And you've got the option of, let me just show you. So that's your drawing. So you've got the option of the cap sleeve here, the long sleeve with the cuff. You can just do the collar stand, or you can do the collar stand and the collar. And you've got the options of pockets. I omitted pockets on mine. It's not. It's quite a floppy material, and I didn't really think it was necessary. It's not something that I wanted to put on this one. The buttons I used were they're slightly different white, if you know what I mean. They're a brighter white. The flowers, I think these are on the shirt. These are just what I had. I couldn't be bothered going out and buying some more. And I put slightly less buttons on this than I should have done. I think it calls for 11 buttons, which I thought were a little bit over the top. It is quite long. I think I only had 9. I didn't have 11 buttons of anything. These were the ones that I had the most of. And they are really nice buttons. It's just that the white's a lot brighter than the white in the design. So I might swap that at some point. I don't know. But in terms of instructions for the Melly Low, I wouldn't want this to have been my first shirt that I've made. Let's put it that way. They're a bit vague in places. I'm a bit disappointed. It's an expensive pattern, is that? Can't quite remember the price of it, but yeah, they're a little bit vague in places of the instructions. I've always been a Calais girl. The Closet Core patterns, Calais has been my favourite pattern for quite a long time, for shirts anyway. And they're very, very similar in design, but I think what I'll do is I will do a compare and contrast video on both of them, so I won't go into too deeper details on either of them. In terms of instructions, I think the Calais beats the Melly Low hands down. In terms of fit, they're very similar. They're very, very similar design. There's a bit more fitting to this, and you can see I've had to drop the bust out on this, and I did lengthen it at the waist as well. And you can see I've not got that button right on my apex, but because it doesn't pull, it doesn't matter too much. So that's those two. Those are the only two that I've made and haven't reviewed so far. The other things that I've made I've already reviewed. So that was the Simplicity 8180, which was the shirt that I made for my friend's husband for his 50th birthday. I'll insert pictures of that because I've already given it him, so I can't show you it. That shirt was great because I had lots of opportunities to make tutorials for it. So I did it with French seams. I did my first French seams around the arm side. So I did a little tutorial for that, and I did a tutorial for how to match the pocket to get, because it's quite a bold design, and I thought it was quite important to match the pocket on that one, and also how to make your own handmade label. So if you want to see any tutorials on any of those, I will put some links at the end for the 100 Days of Sewing, and it's all within that particular playlist. But yeah, it was my first foray into sewing shirts or sewing anything for men. I did the toile back in June, I think it was, and made the shirt in August, and it was his birthday on the 19th of August, and I'll insert a picture of him here looking very pleased with it. I made him a matching face mask as well, so I seemed quite pleased with that. So yeah, I quite enjoyed doing that for him. It gave me an opportunity to sew something for somebody else, which I've never done, without having too much issues with fit. I think men's sewing, you've got less faff in terms of fit. Obviously, you can't just you need some idea of size, but you've not got your bust darts and it was a very similar style to this in that it's got the camp collar. It did have proper inset sleeves, but it's a loose fit, so you've not got too much trouble with fit. And talking about fit, that takes me on to the Ilford jacket. I'm just going to do a quick swap. So this is the Ilford jacket that I made. I actually completed the vast majority of this in July and actually showed it in my July plans, and have done a full review of this one as well. But I was just waiting for the buttons, so that's all finished now. So not really an August mate really, because I've done the vast majority of that in July. But in terms of fit and wanting to make shirts, again, this is another great one because there isn't a great deal of fitting. It's very, very loose, boxy shape, and you don't have to inset sleeves. So you've got the option of, there's two types of sleeves on this one. There's a cuffless sleeve, but I went for the sleeve with the cuffs, and I just went for a contrast on the inside of the cuff, around the placket there, and underneath the collar there as well. I had plenty of fabric, I just wanted to add some interest to it. And I omitted any pockets on this one as well. I thought it had enough going on without any extra pockets. And I did want to wear it as some sort of over jacket and a shirt dress as well. I think it will probably be a bit more of an over jacket. It's actually quite short. Once I put a belt on it, it's quite short on me. And with it being a white background, it's not something I'd wear with black tights. But I certainly wear it with leggings and some things like that over the winter or autumn certainly, and just have that as a throw over. So yeah, like I say, I've already done a full review of this, so I won't go into too much detail. The instructions on this are really good, and another good one if you've never made shirts before. So another one that I would recommend if it's your style. It's very boxy. Not very fitted, and it's not for everybody, I don't think. If you have made a few shirts, I would think you would find it a little bit too basic. The pockets are the features on this one, and it's the feature that I omitted really, I suppose. The very last thing, and I can't put this on the mannequin, is the geo tank that I made for the Sew Top Challenge, and that's this one. So you've got really unusual sleeve detail there, which it makes it sort of a square. I think you've got about 3 different sleeve options. So you can just do this one like that, and then there's a medium one, or there's this double one here. And I didn't have a great deal of fabric, so I've just cut across the yoke at the back there and change the direction of it. This is a great scrap buster. If you've never made a tank top before, I'd try something a little bit more simple, only because this can be a little bit tricky to get right round that size there. But otherwise, the instructions are really good, and it's a free pattern. This is a Misusu Patterns Geo Tank, and I've done a full review for that as well. I will leave a link below. Like I say, it's a great scrap buster. This is made just from leftovers of a dress, and the navy blue was just some scraps that I had as well. So that's the last of what I've made in August. But if you are planning on making a shirt, I've just been notified. If you were previously a member of Craftset, they have a shirt making video on there, and if you're a previous member of Craftset, I've certainly been given a 45-day free premium membership or something. So take a look at your account. I can't see anywhere where I've had an email to notify me of this. Alex Judge put something on her YouTube community tab. She put something up there, and when I've looked, I've got this free premium membership, I think it's called. And she has recommended that there's a really excellent shirt making course on there. So if shirt making is something that you've never tried and you think you want to have a go, certainly the Melody blouse is a good one. I wouldn't recommend the Melilo to be your first one, but if you take a shirt making course, then go for it. Shirt making is like anything in sewing. It's just a series of steps that you just need to break down. But if you think about what the steps are, you complicated bit can be the collar. So if you go for something with a flat collar like the Ilford jacket or the camp style collar, you haven't got a collar stamp to put in. And you've got setting in sleeves, which is just practice, but this is a flat sleeve. The Melody is a dolman sleeve, so you don't have to put set sleeves in. And then you've got your buttons and buttonholes. And I've got a video about doing mastering buttonholes as well, or overcoming some of the problems that you can face. Usually with buttonholes, if you've got a machine that does buttonholes, usually the problem is when you get to a top bit like that where it's quite the thickness of your fabric changes. That's usually when your buttonhole plays up. So I've got some advice on that video for you, so that you can perhaps overcome it. So that's my August makes. So that's it from me today. I was going to tag on my autumn sewing plans at the end of this video, but I think it's going to make it too long. So I've already recorded it, so if I look a bit in a different position, that's why. Let me know if you've been sewing shirts, or if I've encouraged you to give it a go, and let me know which ones that you recommend as well. There might be a few more shirts to come in my plans next time as well. It's nice to take it slowly, I think, sometimes. I like to take my time on the projects, so yeah, let me know if you fancy making a shirt, and I will be back next Sunday with my autumn sewing plans. And that's it from me. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching.